Hi guys, you got Frankenfoot here. Something a little bit different coming at you today. Town Hall 10.5 versus Town Hall 10.5. Trying an army composition. I used a bit at Town Hall 9. It wasn't quite as strong after the Loon buff, but this seemed like a pretty good base for it, and I'll explain why that was after the attack. But you've got a baby dragon coming up top trying to attempt a funnel for the queen to encourage her to walk in this direction. That attempt failed, regretfully, but the queen was able to come up and tag that air defense right there, which was enabled her to keep those healers alive, and it enabled a Pekka King Valk healer combo with bowlers to penetrate this side of the base and make a pretty darn deep push. So this was about when, as soon as that went down and she went the wrong way, that's when I knew this thing was going to Potskisville. But I did have a backup plan, and I did initiate that backup plan. I accidentally kind of fat-fingered her ability there, which was unfortunate, because I just finally got that hog down to lure. And what you know what, the healers start taking fire. You've got Valks popping out. You got baby dragons. Looks like a witch is in there somewhere too. Where's that dang witch? There she is. Oh, I didn't even notice her. Anyway, despite it all, the queen with her few amount of healers and one wizard for support was able to push through all that. And then over here you've got the other side of the attack, the other piece of the equation, which is the king, the healers, and the Pekka. And I'm not going to lie, I thought I really blew it at this point. But keep on pushing, see what happens. And you got a rage to greet them as they go through there, coming in right on the queen. Now, I've found what seems to work best with this strategy right now is to just rage these guys the whole way through. Just try to keep them constantly in a rage. Raged bowlers with a raged healer behind them are an incredibly deadly thing. So you can see them just kind of coming through here and kicking the fire out of this base. And I have got 8 left, but I started with 9 hogs, and things are starting to get a little bit dicey. So I decided to go ahead and drop them over there. But these guys have made a push. They have gone all the way through here, taking out all that. A couple of Valkyries left here, and they ended up out here. But no, these guys are still in there kicking it. Even without the queen, they're doing all that. And the hogs went in, and they cleaned up a couple of troops, a couple of defenses on that side. And I've dropped wizards. Ooh, dogs are out. I've dropped wizards to try to help on the cleanup on that side, and somehow or another, despite the fact that a couple major things went wrong, I was able to pull out the 3-star on a base that was not necessarily a given. So this is sort of Town Hall 9.5 versus Town Hall 9.5. So you can see what this guy has done. He has put all his air defenses sort of on this side of the base, and he has put the queen sort of centered on the side of the base where there is no air D. She sort of has a pocket around her. So if you're wanting to do an air attack, you are forced to have to come in and take the queen, and then you've got sort of all these darn air defenses you left up, and that ain't no good for nobody. So I figured air-based attack maybe not great for here. Let's pull out this guy. Let's move inside. Hello, beetle. Let's pull out this army that I haven't used in quite a while. See how it works. And it only works because there's no inferno towers. Once your inferno towers show up, your healer's ability to keep things coming up as they run through the base is very much, what's the word I'm looking for? Stressed or strained, perhaps. So because there's no infernos, you can do that. But he's got everything else pretty well kicked up here. Which is unfortunate because I don't have Town Hall 10 Valks, I don't have Town Hall 10 Hogs. In fact, nothing here is Town Hall 10 level except I've got an extra spell. Anyway, so here was the plan. I was hoping to drop the queen over here, right here, with healers behind her, and the baby dragon can knock these buildings out. And so, as I do that, hold on just 1 minute. I was hoping the baby dragon would take these things out and encourage the queen to walk into this direction, which would be away from all these air defenses. And then once these 2 buildings are gone, you can send a hog in here. And he'll either go for one of these 2 buildings here, and he will try to take, he will lure the clan castle, whatever's in there. No idea, it's a fresh hit. And then once that happens, once the queen establishes this direction, I was going to drop a baby dragon around here, and then drop the king here, with the Pekka behind him here, and then 2 healers behind him. With this building gone, they will want to walk in this direction. No doubt about that. And then once they meet up with the queen over here, send in the Valks, let them tear up through these last buildings, rage everything as they go into here, and then send the bowlers in as they're about to bust through that wall, and then just rage the whole way through, and whatever's left over, clean up with hogs. Easy as that. However, the queen went in the wrong direction. Now, if you do a queen walk, that happens more often than you would probably like. So, you got to have a backup plan. So my backup plan was, if the queen goes the wrong way, be sure to get the lure, but stick with the entry on this side, because all the air are over here, and the queen is over here. This is a great spot to come in with hogs relative to this spot, and this is a great spot to come with Valkyries, because the queen's going to draw them in. So if that did happen, I was instead going to drop a baby dragon. I can't remember exactly what it is. I guess we'll have to watch. I think I wanted to drop it here. Knock this guy out. Then drop in the king and the Pekka here with healers behind them. Still nothing that can really hurt healers here. These buildings should be gone, so they'll work their way this way. Drop the Valkyries here, and then continue to do the same thing. Rage in, and just, keep them raged through the whole base. At Town Hall 10, I got that extra spell versus Town Hall 9, so it works out quite well. And then just sprinkling hogs at the end where you need them. So, let's watch this unfold, shall we? I bet I say that every video, shall we? Let's watch this, shall we? So you see the baby dragon coming here, doing his job. He's also tanking for that one archer tower, so the queen doesn't have to pop a rage spell as quickly as she would otherwise. So finally, the baby dragon goes down, but the queen is taking care of that cannon, so she should be good to go with 4 healers on her. Tried desperately to get that darn archer tower taken care of with that wizard there, but it's too late. The queen was just going to knock it out. But it was that gold storage that ultimately sent her going the wrong direction. I was hoping, you can see it's kind of 50-50 here. Is she going to go for that cannon? Is she going to go for that archer tower? It looks like that archer tower is back 1. I didn't realize that until now. So that's why she walked in that direction. Oh well. So that didn't come out. Accidentally fat-fingered her ability, and then sent in the hound after the baby dragon. Because, yeah, now I'm starting the funnel on this side just to get the rest of the kill squad to go where they need to go. Fortunately, you pulled everything. With the exception of that baby dragon, that was actually a good squad I could have sent in with the Valks and the bowlers, and as long as I could poison that baby dragon to death, would have been fine. But definitely don't want to send the healers in on this side because of all these air defenses. So, you see the king come in, Pekka behind him. The queen's just going to do what she's going to do. Thankfully, she did take out all the clan castle troops, but a witch versus Valkyries, that those Valkyries are going to smoke her. So they come in, I go ahead and drop the clan castle. You're going to see the rage come down, and that's going to help the Valkyries get through the wall. And then once things move into the base, it's going to help the king, or it's going to help everything get healed up with the healers. You see, I did drop the king's ability, just because his health was getting low. And so things are moving through. All sorts of craziness has happened. You're seeing traps pulled. You're seeing giant bombs. I actually lost a healer to a Seeking Air Mine. But the rage is really helping keep things up. We still got Valkyries alive. We still got bowlers alive. The endless raging is a very powerful tool. And as you can see, I don't even know if I used a rage on the queen. So I've got, what was it, 4? I think a grand total of 4 rages used to get these guys through the base. And you see they've pretty much cleared everything out at this point. I dropped the hogs over here just because it's time to drop the hogs. I got to drop them because, time is of the essence at this point. But yeah, they pretty much smoked it. And now it's just into cleanup mode. So, there you go. Even though the queen went the wrong way, a couple things went the wrong way, base was pretty well smoked. So yeah, intersperse your air defenses. If you really sit down and look at it, a base that's got a nice theme like that, there's usually a good way to circumvent all of it. Anyway, that's all Frankenfoot's got tonight. Still waiting on that boat. I've been keeping a builder and like 7 million gold on tap for that dang boat as soon as I can fix it. So one day that boat will come and we will sail away. Sail far, far away.